Hi, my name's Jacqueline Bell and I'd like to talk to you today about depression and the top tips I have to help you to feel a little better today. And the very first thing I'd like to say is that 1 in 5 of us is likely to suffer from depression at some point in our lives. The most important thing to remember is that you're normal. The symptoms you're going through are wide and varied. It's not important that you fit the symptoms. It's more important that if you feel depressed and you have those depressed feelings, that you do something about them. And the number one tip I'd like to say is, regardless of the fact that sleep will have been impacted, you need to get yourself into a healthy sleep pattern, which means not going to bed any later than 11:30 at night and getting yourself up at 8 o'clock in the morning. You need to do that despite the fact that you might not be able to sleep when you're in bed. And if you have trouble getting up in the morning, then get someone to wake you up. But just getting yourself back in that routine will help you. And the next tip is that we all know children need time to wind down before they go to bed at night. And why is it that we think that we'd be any different? If you're watching the TV or playing on the computer before you go to bed, you're going to really get those arousal patterns going, which means you're going to dream a lot more, which is part of the problem with depression. So we need to shut those down. One way to do that, just allow yourself a little bit of wind down time. Some of my clients do all sorts of different things, from taking their dog for a walk, for instance, or just lengthening their cleansing procedure before they go to bed and making themselves feel pampered a bit. Others read. Whatever works for you, just take 15 or 20 minutes to wind down and stop those arousal patterns from making you dream and dream all night long. From a third tip, it's important to understand that when you're depressed, things often feel negative. Your thought patterns are very negative, and we can feel like the bad things last forever. The good things feel unstable, like they'll never last. And we need to change that mindset. So a simple little tip is just to keep a 30-second diary. At night, before you go to bed, just write down the date, and beside it put a number, anywhere between 1 and 10, with 1 being representing the worst day of your life and 10 representing the best. Don't allow yourself to get clogged up with detail. So just put the date and the number, and gradually you can watch, because no day is ever the same. Change happens regardless of whether we want it to or not. Depression thrives on stress and anxiety. It's important to stop those arousal patterns, because otherwise you're going to wake up in the morning feeling more exhausted than when you went to bed. So all we need to do is just look at our breathing. When you control your breathing, you force adrenaline out your body. All I want you to do is just breathe in slowly through your nose for the count of 7, and then just as slowly breathe out for the count of 11. Do it for as long as you need to, and as you do it, just notice how particular parts of your body start to relax. It's a very, very simple thing, a bit like that exercise for bums, tums and thighs, where we can squeeze everything in and it doesn't matter where we are. You can do exactly the same thing anywhere. 7-11 breathing, simple. One thing my depressed clients frequently tell me is that they can't be bothered to get themselves up in the morning and to get ready and go out. However, when they do, they frequently tell me they feel better. And the reason for that is that physical exercise of any sort, plus natural daylight, helps to raise the serotonin levels that your body is deprived of when you're depressed. So just taking yourself out for 15-20 minutes a day, walking around the block or sitting in your garden if you have to, will make a difference to you. Any kind of physical exercise, it doesn't have to be the gym, will make a difference to you.